Carolina in the home whites, Duke in the road blues, just about set, ready to go. We are knocking on the front door of March. The ACC tournament begins on Wednesday in Greensboro. What a time to be alive.
Let's go. We are here.
Anya Poole, Akinbadi James, opening tap controlled by Duke. A good start imperative for the Devils after they lost by 16 to Carolina back at Cameron Indoor last month.
This is a tough place to score. You know, we've seen teams suffer at the hands of the defense of North Carolina. So they think they're prepared to take it on. Duke can be a great three-point shooting team, though.
Gordon off the mark. The rebound controlled by the Blue Devils and a fresh 20. Celeste Taylor didn't play in the first matchup. She's playing today, and she makes a three to get the scoring started.
She's got to be one of the ones to score, averaging double figures in this season. She was out, of course, for 7 games with injuries. You take a look at the starting lineup for Carolina. We talked about Ustby. Kennedy Todd-Williams is the other player. Names you need to know. Besides, oh yeah, leading scorer Deja Kelly.
Anya Poole connects inside. It's 3-2. It's also senior day here in Chapel Hill. So Carlie Littlefield, Jalen Murray will play inside this facility for the last time. As you take a look at Duke's starting 5, Taylor was out in the first meeting. Blue Devils have had a lot of different starting lineups this year due to injuries and COVID protocols, so there's been kind of a cosmic shift at times in these last 2 months of the year. Tar Heels with their first lead as Littlefield connects.
She's one of the players for this team, a graduate player, came from Princeton, followed Coach Bangert, and has just been a difference maker on this team. You talk about leadership, that's where it starts. Number 2.
Courtney Bangert told us earlier today that she's been a wreck all week. The team has by losing these 2 seniors. But at some point you have to cross the line to actually get ready for the game itself and put emotions up on the shelf somewhere. Right. Kennedy Todd-Williams, the mid-range. Ustby outside to Littlefield. Plenty of time. Oh, missed the chippy. Put back for Poole is good, however.
Rebounds are going to be big in this game. That's what Coach Bangert told us earlier. The battle of the boards. And for number 31, Anya Poole, she has been playing some fantastic basketball. There's somebody who has stepped into that light to say, hey, you got to pay attention to me now.
Cheyenne Day-Wilson, short on the layup. Yeah, Poole started every game this season shooting over 55% from the floor. She's been steady. 2.5 minutes in, Tar Heels by 3. Little up and under, no good for Ustby. She'll get it back. And free throws coming. Year number 3 for Courtney Bangert came from Princeton. Carlie Littlefield eventually followed her. 22-5 this season, in the top 20 in the AP top 25. And listen, let's make the case early. If Carolina wins this game, this is a team, she's a coach, and her players that need to be given serious consideration to hosting in the NCAA tournament as a top 16 team.
Totally agree. They are playing some great basketball right now. They're getting the wins to prove it, and certainly would help their case solidifying a win here tonight.
Well, 22-5 on the year, all 5 losses coming to 4 teams that were all ranked.
Yeah, exactly.
They've also toppled number 3 Louisville.
12-1 at home this season, so Duke has their hands full this afternoon. You know, we were here for their 1 loss at home this season, of course, against NC State, who they took down to the wire. Nice move.
With a bounce, Kennedy Todd-Williams. It's a 9-0 run for Carolina. We mentioned the record, the scoring margin, pretty legit. The 12-1 mark at home, and haven't even talked about Deja Kelly yet.
And that's a sign of a good team. You know, we would have been talking perhaps only about Deja Kelly earlier in the season. But you've had so many good players emerge. Ustby, Todd-Williams, Anya Poole. You know, even players coming off the bench have been contributing to this team in every single way. And that's how you know there's good ball movement, there's unselfishness, there's good chemistry.
Littlefield shadowed by Day-Wilson. Off the switch, short, and the rebound controlled by Akinbadi James, and then stolen away. Carolina, 11-3.
How about the extra efforts here for Carolina on the board? You had Ustby go over 3 Duke Blue Devils to get her own shot. And then Littlefield just straight up out hustling for that 50-50 ball.
4 minutes in, only one field goal made for Duke. Day Wilson will try to change that. She'll get a couple of free throws.
Wow, just quick hands, Carlie Littlefield. So smart, so heads up, but just a competitive player. And that's what Courtney Bangert said she's gonna miss, is her competitiveness. Nothing exemplifies that more than that play right there.
Senior night for you, Coastal Carolina. You're in the Big South Hall of Fame. You know what it's like. You understand the emotions. I mean, it's tough, not only on the players, but also on the staff.
It is. You know, you think about all the time you spent and asked, you know, for help. Hey, can you rebound for me? You go into their office and just chit-chat. All those moments are all of a sudden now about to come to an end, and it's a hard realization.
Volker off the mark from distance, so no free throws for Day Wilson. The foul was on the floor by Hodgson. Carolina gets it back and back to work. North Carolina's net ranking in the top 10. They're number 6 right now as well. That's a consideration for the selection committee when talking about and thinking about host sites. How about this run? 13-0 and a 10-point advantage. Ustby.
I like how she took advantage of what the defense gave her. You literally can put her at any position on the floor and she's going to be a threat. And I like that she's hunting for her shot. Good backdoor cut, but great recovery help side there by Carolina's defense.
Crowd is in it to start.
I mean, at this rate, we're looking at a Louisville Notre Dame score at the end of the first and second quarters. This could follow suit.
Well, and that's an interesting conversation too, because you wonder if Carolina could sneak up and maybe take Notre Dame's spot. Not that Notre Dame isn't worthy, but that's certainly something to consider. Day Wilson, no.
I'm for both of them getting in.
Sure.
I'd rather have that. You know, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but DePaul, hello, they need to be in.
Anya Poole rejected, out of bounds by Jade Williams. And for the record, too, we were talking about North Carolina versus Notre Dame as host sites for the tournament. You wonder what that potentially could come down to, and it could be outcome here, not to mention what happens in the ACC tournament later this week. Todd-Williams was given the 3. Shot clock at 4. Ustby, no, but she was clipped. Free throws coming for Carolina, and what a start at home. Carmichael Arena is rocking, and the lead is 10 for the home team.
You've spent years dreaming up your business plan, saving every dollar, searching for the right location.
As we come down the stretch,
I think they are putting themselves in great position. The things that are coming together for Carolina right now, getting the big wins. That one over Louisville was huge, especially them and Virginia Tech. You know, I think everything's coming at the right time. And they can just hold court at home here today, prove how strong they are of a team. You see all the seeding in the strong ACC field once again.
got 8 teams, according to Charlie Kareem, including 2 #1 seeds as it stands today in NC State and Louisville.
It's incredible the job that NC State has done. Everybody came back and they said, no, we're not done yet. And they've held on to that #1 seed, have gotten better, and there's really no weaknesses to the NC State team.
Duke 1 for 9 to start. Have not scored in almost 5 minutes. Yeah, I asked you the question when we had State Carolina here last month. Does it feel like maybe in some way NC State's just trying to trend in that slow direction to where they're peaking at the end of the year and just playing for what the tournament is going to look like? And I don't know that that's happening, but I do think that they're playing pretty well right now.
I think every team is trying to play at their peak at all times, right? Because as soon as you start to think about it in those terms, are we peaking, are we falling? You're getting into some mental games there. You want to be at the top of your game as sharp as you can. See Deja Kelly try to get to the rim. You just hope that things are coming together. That's a Euro step. It's going to get called for a walk, I think. Yeah.
Elizabeth Balagoon turns it over. Lid remains on the basket for the Blue Devils. Don't forget, we'll cap off our really good women's basketball quadruple header on ACC Network and ESPN. Final game coming up next. #3 NC State in Blacksburg to take on 23rd ranked Virginia Tech. 6 o'clock as soon as we're done here in Chapel Hill, right here on ACC Network. Wolfpack prime position, 16-1 in the league. Virginia Tech in 3rd place right now in the top 25, and a very tough out for anybody rolling up to Blacksburg.
And I'll be there on the men's side Tuesday night as well as they host Syracuse, but the women's team has definitely stepped up their game and become a hot contender here in the ACC.
Hodgson comes up short.
Oh.
And a foul called inside. Ustby fell down awkwardly. This will go against Duke.
Yeah, Volker got arms wrapped around her shoulder or head. We'll take another look at that. Yeah, it was just looks pretty unintentional. Volker with 2 fouls gonna head out. Ustby, I mean, she grew up with 3 older brothers. So you tell me this girl can go out there, hang with the guys, can hang anywhere, put her in positions 1 through 5 on the floor. I mean, talk about versatility. I love it. Not afraid of contact.
Kelly open for 3. Look at the effort, the hustle. Littlefield on senior day. She gets it back.
The full student section was all collectively holding their breath, hoping that shot was going in.
Celeste Taylor, she's got all 6 Duke points. And the first field goal made since 9:31 was left in our first quarter.
She looks so confident when she has the basketball, no matter what the score looks like. Celeste Taylor is game ready.
And a foul called as Kelly was bumped by Day Wilson. That's her first. So Kara Lawson making a couple of substitutions. The freshman checks out, as does Jade Williams for Duke. Blue Devils have lost 4 out of 5, now 16-11 overall, 7-11 in the ACC. They are locked in as the 10 seed in the upcoming ACC tournament. Kelly could not finish. And quickly ahead, Lexi Gordon can. Here comes Duke.
Great catch and finish by Gordon and fine by Celeste Taylor. You know, if Duke can control the boards, you see they're changing their defense now. Now you're looking at a zone, whereas before they were playing some man. We'll see how that affects Carolina.
Littlefield, no. Ustby on the offensive glass.
You still got to box out, and Ustby is a tough one.
Kelly, cold start. The final regular season game in the ACC for Carolina.
Celeste Taylor off the fast break for Duke. Great bullet pass. Just past Carlie Littlefield, who almost got a piece of that ball too. That's where Duke needs to get. They need to get some easy buckets. A team that's struggling with winning, struggling on offense. You can get the boards, run out and score if you can get a good deflection and score. That will help the shots fall, yeah.
Tar Heels have missed 8 straight from the floor. Kelly will change that.
Whoa! Look, Deja Kelly did not score a point the last time we were in this building. I was about to say, you need to leave because you're bad luck.
She didn't want to talk to you today.
You. But
Courtney told us, hey, no, Deja's not talking to Brooke. That's all I remember.
That move, the hezzy cross pull up. Oh, that was so nice.
Good child tried to feed the post, couldn't do it. Off the fingertips of Lewis, and here comes Deja Kelly.
Now, when I tell you the whole building, and slow-mo, unfortunately, usually does things more justice, but in this tournament, it took it away. The whole building went, ooh, right when she made that move. We all got it.
Approaching a minute to go in our first quarter. Tar Heels by 8. They have not trailed. Check that they did when it was 3-0, and that was it. 3-pointers have been falling, not this time. An opportunity now for Duke as Gordon controlled the rebound. Mid-range for Taylor. To Jesus. Pop that out.
What you don't want if you're Duke, if you're not getting these runouts, is the feeling that, you know, Celeste Taylor or Cheyenne Day Wilson, when she's in the game, having to create their own shots. And make sure you keep that ball moving. Second, third side, inside out, just like Carolina's doing here. Big double team by Duke.
Ustby brought it down, nearly turned it over. Open 3, Hodgson. Tracked down by Todd-Williams. Well, Carolina's been the aggressor. They've won the majority of those 50-50 balls so far. Shot clock at 5. Todd-Williams. Duke's got to hurry. Vanessa DeJesus. Gordon for 3. 10 minutes in the books. Carolina doubling up Duke. One of the great rivalries in all of college basketball. Second quarter up next.
There's a moment. The moment we ask, what if?
What if we could go further, jump higher, or run the whole thing? What if we could be who we're...
Walk with him, and we chatted about basketball, and he knew my college coach, Pat Summitt. Obviously, I played for an absolute legend in college, and now I get to coach with an absolute legend on the same campus, so it's pretty cool.
And Kara Lawson, of course, a two-time All-American at Tennessee, played for the legend, the late Pat Summitt. And now the head coach for the Duke Blue Devils. To start our second quarter, Carolina inside Ustby, another bucket. And the lead is 10. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. During that timeout between quarters, it appeared as if there was an exchange of the game ball happening near midcourt. What did you find out, our investigative reporter?
He doesn't see me out of breath running up and down the stairs. So they were trying to change out the game ball. One of the staff members of Carolina's team said, hey, we had placed this game ball out on the opposite bench or on the opposite stand to use for the game. But when Angelica Suffern came out, the official said, I didn't see a game ball out there. So I went, picked out 2 to use in the game. And then someone brought me this ball that I have in my hands here. And you can't change out a game ball unless there's something wrong with it. So here we are.
The drama is real this time of year. I mean, wow.
You can't tell me I don't hustle now.
Now you're getting after it.
Yeah, y'all give me a minute to catch my breath here.
8-point lead, 1 minute into our second quarter. The final day of the regular season in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Tournament begins Wednesday night. A little up and under, down it goes. Akabati James. She's got 4. So Duke has whittled that lead down to 6. And right back in it.
Yeah, the zone's been really effective, Roy. I think it's forcing Carolina to be more space, have to use more spacing, go for some threes. But this is where it exposes Duke. If you're a good rebounding team, and Carolina is, you're playing a zone, it makes it that much harder. You got to find your area, look and see who's about to crash it, and make sure you get a body.
Well, we're so excited about this. Tomorrow, the tournament, a history of ACC men's basketball, continues here on ACC Network. It is episode 7. It highlights 84 to 89 at 9 Eastern, followed by episode 8 that breaks it down 1990 through 1997. New episodes, part of the 10-part documentary, available every Monday at 9 and 10 Eastern through March 7th. And of course, you can watch past episodes on the ESPN app. Shot clock under 10. Kennedy Todd-Williams can't get the bounce. Pops right back out to Poole. Mid-'80s was right when I started watching ACC hoops, so there were some legends playing in the league back then. And the tournaments, I mean, you couldn't get a ticket. You couldn't get a ticket.
I've seen the footage. I mean, I can only imagine what the atmosphere was like.
It was literally more difficult to get a ticket for the ACC tournament back then than the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I mean, that's what it was.
Wow.
And you had Bobby Crimmins, you had Coach K, the late Dean Smith. His birthday would have been tomorrow, by the way.
Yes.
Legends throughout the league, coaches, players. Deja Kelly back iron. I mean, Jimmy V, NC State, that was right after their run. Survive and advance in '83. Shot clock at 9. Ustby. All right, what do you make of Duke's chances now? It feels like they've kind of weathered that storm. They've gotten the fight back in the middle of the ring.
They have. They changed their defense, and that made all the difference in the world. Now, offensively, they've got to do a better job of not only attacking, but moving the ball more from side to side. You're seeing quick shots from Duke. A lot of one-on-one situations. So they just have to have more energy in their game, and I think that's, with Cheyenne Day-Wilson being back in, that's going to help a lot.
Mid-range is there from 16. It's 18 to 14 now.
She's cold. Like, that shot is cold. She just, you can see, has spent so much time in the gym doing that and is used to playing at a higher level. Older players, Just ready and dialed in.
First basket of the game for the freshman. She was just 3 of 16 in the first meeting between these two. Certainly has an understanding of the rivalry. So does Kennedy Todd-Williams.
So if Carolina starts taking some outside shots against this zone, it's going to be an even bigger problem for Duke. That's what they're hoping on, is to keep them out of the paint. These points in the paint have been very kind to Carolina.
Courtney Banger told us this morning the secret is out on number 3 in white. She's number 1A or 1B on everybody's scouting report these days. Her athleticism and look, her productivity as a scorer off the charts these last 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, double figures in 10 of her last 12 games. She put up 19 against Louisville. And, you know, definitely a candidate for one of the most improved players in the league, certainly on the team. And, I mean, it fits. The comparisons to Scottie Pippen and what she's able to do on both ends of the floor is pretty amazing.
On cue, a steal and a save. 5 turnovers now for Duke. Good look inside. Poole collects, can't finish, but she was hit from behind. So Balagoon picks up the personal. That's her first.
You could really make an argument right now that this team is running off of the juice of number 2, Carlie Littlefield. The way that she started this game, her hustle, her effort and energy immediately affected everybody else. You see she and Deja Kelly having a talk right now with Coach Banger.
Coach Banger told us most difficult conversation she's ever had was when she left Princeton talking to number 2 in white, Carlie Littlefield, where she was playing at the time, telling her she was leaving, coming to Chapel Hill. And it turned out Carlie would follow her shortly thereafter. She had offers from Arizona, Stanford, and Carolina. She said, you know what? We kind of sold her on this place, and she sold us on her. Teammates voted her a team captain. She was accepted right away. Yeah, how about that?
I mean, that's how you know you're doing something right. Your teammates see what you're doing, put you in a captain position. Is Kelly still a little cold from the outside?
Kennedy Williams bumped and fouled after picking up the offensive rebound. Jade Williams, the guilty party that time.
You know, more offensive rebounds for Carolina. And unless Duke does something to change that, which Carolina has 13 offensive rebounds, that's more than Duke's entire rebounds for the day. You got to change that and do it immediately. That's just effort.
Kelly stop and pop, no. Tar Heels had their team banquet yesterday honoring the seniors, Jalen Murray, Carlie Littlefield. Crashing down is Balagoon. She'll put it up and in. Big basket for Duke. Lead down to 6 again.
Well, great hustle by Balagoon. But if you're Carolina, you just let a 3-point shooter launch it and get her own rebound in the paint. Where's the body? She's talking about rebounds. And I guarantee you that's exactly what she's thinking about right now.
Seat on the bench for Deja Kelly. 4th leading scorer in the ACC. Balagoon will check out as well for head coach Kara Lawson. And Blue Devils here with a 3 can make it a 1-possession game. Feels like Carolina should be up by more than what they are.
They've gotten bored, but they haven't converted on those second chance opportunities. I mean, Duke's defense has been pretty solid. They're active. It's those 50-50 balls. Duke's finally getting a chance to get some movement and spacing. It's going to be a foul on Todd-Williams.
That's her first. Lead is 6. Duke basketball when we come back to chilly Chapel Hill.
There's a moment. The moment we ask, what if?
What game electric. Senior day wants to make a good impression playing in front of her high school coaches, her parents, who all made the trip down from Iowa. They wanted to thank her for making this the most difficult place to travel to out of all the schools she could have attended out of Princeton. But it looks like it's well worth it to get down here to Chapel Hill.
No direct flights from Waukee, Iowa down here along Tobacco Road. You see Carolina just 3 for their last 23 as Duke turns it over. And that's a big story given their hot start and 10-point advantage almost right out of the gate.
Yeah, they're shooting only 7% from 3-point line right now. So they've got to hit some shots. They want to get this thing popping. And Duke just being steady in their zone offense, or zone defense, I should say. Like I said, when they can get the rebound like this, like that's a totally different team on the move.
Wilson, no. You ever been to Waukee, Iowa?
I have not, no. Maybe my steel selling days, but not recently.
Used to be a salesman before you were a broadcaster?
While I was a broadcaster.
Blown away right now.
You needed a day job, man.
Opportunity for the Blue Devils. And a pass out of bounds. Looking for Jade Williams. Turnover number 7 for Duke. Well, the pace in this one kind of grinding down these last 5 minutes or so of real game time. Is that a rivalry? Is that the end of the season? Is it all the above?
Well, I think you have the emotion, right? You have the emotion of the rivalry. You have the emotion of senior day and just kind of letting it all out. And that's not a good sign for Carolina. That's Anya Poole limping her way out of the game. Let's hope she just needs a little bit of treatment and come back in. Yeah, right? I think you get through all that emotion first quarter, and then everybody says, all right, let's take a deep breath and get back into it. Plus, when things change in game, man-to-man to zone, it's going to slow the game down.
7 to shoot. Ustby and a chance for 3. She's got 8 points now.
They love it when she can catch the ball at the mid-post there, the free throw line. To bust up that zone. There she catches it right at the logo, one of the open spots when you play against the zone. You get that ball there, you face the defense. They got to make a decision. So you start to drive and you're going to pull defenders toward you. That's Jade Williams, who had to make a decision. And she finishes the shot.
Ustby missed the free throw. Lead back to 8. Quick trigger by Gordon. That's an air ball. Kennedy Todd-Williams, an open path off glass. Getting it done. Lead back to 10 just like that, and she's got 7.
She made that look way too easy. Laughing, smiling, coming back down the court. She might have surprised herself on that move.
Well, we watched Carolina shoot around earlier today. It was high energy, up tempo. A lot of smiles, a lot of good vibes with that 22-5 record. I think we've seen that translate. They've won their last 3 games before today as you watch Todd-Williams go back to work.
I mean, this is a player, you know, we've heard great things about her. Now she's not a secret anymore, but you got to stop her in the open floor. I think she's probably surprised she was that open and just hit a runner. See how much fun. I mean, this one, you know, it's a good day. You can run down the floor with a big smile on your face. You're doing all right.
Critical 2.5 minutes to close our first half for Duke. Day Wilson, no. Sense of urgency for Ustby. Hodgson outside of Littlefield. She fell down and she's got a chance for 4. Tar Heels have their largest lead.
Terrific job. First of all, Hodgson off the drive, going to draw the defense. Day Wilson, let's check out the contact here. Yeah, it wasn't a lot, right? Definitely not a lot of contact, and I agree. However, you got to let the shooter come down and then box her out. That's been a big point of emphasis. Because the last thing you want to see happen is her come down awkwardly on a foot and sprain an ankle.
Other end of the floor, Cheyenne Day Wilson had an open look from the corner for 3, missed it. On the other side, a 4-point play, a 7-point swing, potentially right here at the end of the first half.
That's huge.
And Duke turns it over again. They're 8th. So an 8-0 run for Carolina and possession now. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Inside out. Back to Ustby. She'll get it back. And a turnover to Jesus. Off and running. Celeste Taylor. 3rd air ball from distance in this half for Duke.
I think if you're Duke, right now is the time to start driving. Yes, this is a 3-point shooting team. You can get hot at any moment, but right now you got to give yourself a chance. Give yourself some easy buckets inside.
Speaking of easy,
they're finding a way.
Malush Tengay, her first points from the floor. 32-16. Devils need this one to really bolster that NCAA tournament resume. Right now among the first 4 teams out, according to Charlie Cream.
They're not playing like a desperate team that needs a win right now.
Under a minute to go. Ustby. Patient finish in traffic.
It's a vet move right there. Just a sophomore. Incredible footwork. Thought about turning, read the defense, felt the shoulders where they were, and instead just a little step back, pop, jump shot.
She started every game this season. She's the first in double figures today with 10. And where will the offense come from for Duke to close out this first half? Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. Tar Heels looking for their first season sweep against Duke since back in 2014.
Ustby already getting a standing O before halftime.
You want something to the rim here.
Yes, don't settle for a 3. You got to attack. You know, bring that tough energy, that physicality into the second half with you right now. It's taking too long to set up a play.
Off the bounce strip. And a scrum right under the rim. It'll stay with Duke. So 2.1 seconds to go. First half that's been dominated by North Carolina.
And I love the fact you've got 5'10" Hodgson down there going up against taller interior players. She's got the quick hands of a guard, but she's got the strength of a post player.
Angelica Suffering, Carla Fountain, Brandon Innerline, our veteran ACC officiating crew on this Sunday. And Duke will get it. 2 seconds to work with. Celeste Taylor. Carolina ends the half on a 12-0 run. 34-16 our score.
Yeah,
over the Blue Devils at home.
There are all kinds of products in this world. Things that make life.
Announced
to start our second half, number 18, North Carolina out in front of arch rival Duke, 34-16. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott back inside Carmichael. A first
time hustle plays like this that kept possessions alive, got them second and third looks, and helped them build this big lead. This is one of the few threes that we've seen them hit. They're just 2 of 16 from a three-point line. Meanwhile, for Duke, it's been a tough day for them so far, but Celeste Taylor, she's knocked down a couple of threes. She's got 6 points, 5 boards. And for a team that's got to really step up their energy, Roy. I mean, that's a very subjective thing to say, but when you got a team beating you to every 50-50 ball, to the rebounds right now, that's where the problem is happening. 34-16.
Those 16 points matches the fewest in a first half that Duke has scored all season. And don't forget, Duke currently among the first 4 teams out, according to ESPN bracketologist Charlie Cream. As you take a look at the game summary there, basically all you need to know is this game becomes a must-win to build that resume. Poole inside. Good start for Carolina. The lead swells to 20.
So then the question becomes very simple. Is this a team that is playing for their NCAA tournament lives?
If the answer is yes.
The answer is not yes.
If it becomes yes, it will be fairly obvious pretty quickly.
It needs to be. I mean, you got to have a sense of urgency like yesterday.
9 turnovers for Duke, just 3 in the first half for North Carolina. They only had 6 in the first meeting between these two back at Cameron Indoor. Poole has 7, looking for 9, not this time. It was 78-62 back on January 27th. Carolina winning in Durham. Day Wilson lost it. Duke gets it back. There's a mid-range. Lexi Gordon.
See if Deja Kelly can also get hot here in this second half. Could knock down a bunch of shots. Well, that'll help. An assist always gets you going, no matter what.
Ustby with 13. .7 rebounds for number 1 in white. A 6'1" sophomore out of Minnesota. Gordon left open, corner 3. And a foul inside against Carolina. Anya Poole picks up her first. For Kara Lawson right now, what buttons do you press? What do you do to try to reignite some kind of rally here?
I mean, that's a good question because Duke has been struggling, so obviously there's been a lot of attempts to push buttons. But right now it's got to come down to pride. Do you want to go out like this? Do you want your season to be like this? Or do you want to give the best effort that you can and look back and say, hey, we fought really hard in this game? That's just not the perception I'm getting from Duke right now. So hopefully a play happens where they can come alive, pick up a 50-50 ball, and just get that confidence again. I think that's what they need to see, some success.
Final day of the ACC's regular season. These two teams have met 102 times. They've both won 51 games apiece. Carolina trying to get back in front of Duke in the all-time series, and they are on their way as Todd-Williams now has 10. Day Wilson bumped. She'll try to take this thing over inside. The freshman rewarded with 2 free throws.
She's had 3 games this season with 20 or more points. So she's capable of getting shots up in a hurry.
First foul on Deja Kelly. Big week in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The ACC Women's Tournament underway in Greensboro starting on Wednesday. On the men's side, as Duke gets set for its first free throw attempt of the game. Second to last regular season game for Coach K, right here only on the ACC Network, also on the ESPN app. Pittsburgh and Duke. Number 7 ranked Blue Devils currently on Joe Lunardi's number 2 seed line. And squaring off against the Panthers. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern.
I think if they win the ACC tournament, they're a 1 seed.
Depends on what happens with everybody else, but that possibility is there.
They're playing real well right now.
You're one of the few analysts I've worked with where I think both of us think that somehow, some way, brand matters when you get into the heart of the selection committee room on that selection Sunday. And I mean, it's not supposed to, and technically it doesn't, but just in the subconscious. Hey, look, I think it helps if you got Duke written across the front of your jersey and you're comparing that resume with somebody else's late, even if you do it blindly.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
No, I mean, these aren't robots making selections. These are human beings in a room that have, whether or not they want to admit it, biases toward certain programs, certain schools, and brands. If a brand is strong or if a brand is not doing as hot, I mean, yes, that is a part of it.
It's a deep conversation that gets really in-depth in a hurry that is kind of hard to explain if you're not really knee-deep into it 24/7. Day Wilson's got 5, and a lot of people would argue with you about it, ain't me? And they have.
Too. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will. That's fine. (42-21). Look at the pass to Poole. Wow.
Too easy.
2 terrific assists by Deja Kelly. She finds Ustby, and then inside right there. And going inside, Anya Poole, I believe that was. She dished it off to underneath. Good movement without the basketball for Poole.
8 teams right now from the ACC in the field of 68, according to Charlie Cream, ESPN's bracketologist. Duke is just on the outside looking in. We documented that back in the first half. We basically refer to this game as a must-win unless some kind of massive deep run occurs in the upcoming ACC tournament. You do have the win against Iowa. That matters. Also Notre Dame. That's critical. The net ranking of 44 would dictate that you're probably on the wrong side of the bubble right now.
If you don't win today, you're going to have to win the tournament.
I tend to agree with that.
Yeah,
you went out there. I'm with you on it. I'm with you.
Yep.
Three and a half into our third quarter. Carolina trailed on one occasion. It was 3-0, and that's been it. Shot clock at 5. And Volker off the mark. And she'll commit the infraction. That's her third. Or check that, that'll be on Goodchild, her first. How about Selection Sunday for both the men and women on the same day this year? We like that.
Finally, I love it. I mean, we've talked about this a couple times this year. I'm cool with combining the tournaments too. Let that happen.
In and out for Kelly. It'll stay on this end of the floor, and a fresh 20 seconds for Carolina. Well, you and I were in Courtney Bangert's office, I don't know, probably for 20 minutes earlier this morning. She admitted, hey, it's the end of the season. We're all kind of grinding our way to get here at the end of the regular season. Poole wide open. Missed it. She was fouled. But she still had an energy about her and an excitement about her that you could feel the second you step foot outside of her office, if that makes sense. I think we've seen that on the court so far today with her team as well.
I would agree. You know, you're trying to search for what gear works this time of year because you are mentally exhausted, you're physically banged up, but you also know that there's another level to this, and the real tournament is just about to start. Postseason is so much different than regular season, and I think you can just find something that's working for you, and I think that's what Coach Bangert is constantly searching. She's asking questions, she's curious, she's looking for ways to tie her team together, and that's where that relentless energy really comes into play. You know, you might be exhausted, yes, and knowing what's on the line will give you that energy, right, to keep playing. Knowing, hey, we have a chance to host. Let's go out and get this done, ladies.
Say it a little louder for the people in the back. Carolina has a chance to host.
They sure do.
You win this game, and you win this game convincingly. That is another big check mark in your favor. Headed to Greensboro on the start of the tournament.
Yeah, they're playing themselves definitely in contention for top 16.
Tar Heels in transition. Ustby continues her strong play. 15 on the board.
And that was a hard play to make. Ustby caught that ball in traffic, mishandled it, had someone right on her left hip, yet was still able to control the ball, get her footwork down, and finish the shot. That was just as impressive as any shot I've seen her make today.
Celeste Taylor. And Day Wilson inside. A foul's called against Duke. Blue Devils have one field goal in the last 10 minutes of game time. Carolina rolling. Final day of the regular season. 25 in white, Deja Kelly.
Deja Kelly has been setting her teammates up for success. A couple of great assists here to start this second half. That one to Ustby. Look at this. Double team wraparound pass inside to Anya Poole. And then the hustle plays, getting after the rebounds, doing things that make you a leader. Now, this woman is just a sophomore, but has done a fantastic job of showing senior leadership type qualities. We were here when she went scoreless against NC State. Never changed her body language, played just like she had a 20-25 point night, doing the same thing today.
Todd-Williams fouled and then hit from behind as Destiny Adams came down awkwardly. Everybody appears to be okay after the friendly fire.
I held my breath a little bit on that one.
You mentioned the body language. It was incredible in a game that they lost, their only home loss of the season, a game in which she was held scoreless for the only time this year.
Yeah.
Never showed that with the sulking, never showed that by being disappointed, was there for her teammates. And think about it. Put yourself, the viewer, us as broadcasters, in her shoes. You have a bad day at the office. You know, sometimes it's going to show up in how you act, how you react, what you do.
Yeah.
I know you know that. Deja Kelly does not.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying.
It's certainly hoping for not another deja vu, and if so, we're going to definitely blame Roy. But I think she's just one of the most incredible players on this team, no doubt. But for a sophomore to be like that really says something to me.
Monty Lewis checks in, off the mark. Kelly on cue comes up short. 29-point lead, the block by Littlefield. Put back is there. Way to stick with it, Vanessa de Jesus.
De Jesus, also a sophomore, and was kind of thrown into the fire is what we've come to understand, obviously, with Duke, and having to play a lot of minutes as a freshman, perhaps before she was ready, but doing a good job of giving that best effort. And that was great positioning, vision, and execution from Carolina's offense.
Poole with 13. Largest win for Carolina in this rivalry goes back all the way to the 1960s. 34-point win back in the day, and we'll see if that becomes a factor late, as Taylor now has 8. Check that was in the early 80s. Todd-Williams, Anya Poole. She's got 15.
When you watch this game, it's as though Carolina is reading where the ball's going to go. It's not even like they look like they're moving faster. They're just anticipating better. And Duke trying to scramble here, a little more life to them late in the third quarter.
In and out for Lewis. Blue Devils played #1 South Carolina over at Cameron back in December within 10 points. Competitive contest where they rallied late to get that margin respectability. Not a lot of teams have done that against the Gamecocks this year, #1 team in the land. 7 to shoot. Deja Kelly. Ripped away by Poole.
We're talking about the shot clock here. I'm pretty sure that Kelly's shot did get almost wedged into the side of the rim there. That's what they're going to take a look at.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Poole checks out. Nice round of applause for her. You talk about a sophomore class. You got Kelly, you have Poole, Kennedy Todd-Williams, Zelaya, Ustby. Be a team, be a lot to deal with next season.
Yeah, I'd say Final Four contention, no doubt.
They did try to find a way to get Littlefield back for year #6, and so far the chances of that don't appear to be great. Shot clock at 1. Littlefield, no. ACC with 2 potential #1 seeds. Louisville and NC State, in case you've been under a rock the last 3 months. We've seen the Wolfpack. We know what Jeff Walz can do. Either one of those programs have a chance to challenge South Carolina to get to the Final Four, win the whole thing.
I'd say you got both of those teams in that as well. Out west, Stanford's certainly a strong contender. They seem to be looking as strong as ever. I love it. There's no, 1 or 2 team favorite here and then everybody else. You got a lot of opportunity to make some noise in the NCAA tournament.
Contact at the elbow, the foul called against Carolina. Well, we'll cap off our outstanding women's basketball quadruple header here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. The final game coming up next. Speaking of NC State, 3rd-ranked Wolfpack head to Blacksburg to take on #23 Virginia Tech. NC State will have more, 16-1. The Hokies are in 3rd place right now, 12-4. Wolfpack, of course, at the top of the ACC standing. Should be a great test for both. I was texting with Kelly Cramlick, analyst on that game a few hours ago. They're excited about it, and great way to close down regular season in the league.
Well, I think the ACC overall, top to bottom, still one of the stronger conferences, if not the strongest in the country for women's basketball. And it's just amazing to look at a conference and pull out 2 #1 seeds. I remember when the Big East was like that as well. You had 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four from the Big East at one point. It looked like Celeste Taylor might need some attention from a trainer. You saw her airball that free throw, which is definitely a sign that you might not have full leg strength.
Blue Devils went through this season with 11 consecutive games with players out due to either various injuries or COVID protocols. And off the bounce, a whistle. Free throws coming Rockin' Bodie James. I mean, that's going to impact the season when you have that many players missing those many games.
Yes.
At that point in the season, kind of sandwiched in there between January and February. That's been an issue, and that's something that's been tough to come back from.
Right. I mean, when the team's healthy, full roster, they're 12-4. They're trying to blend COVID protocols for 11 games since Christmas. February 6th was the first time they had everybody as a full roster on the floor against Wake. So yeah, it's definitely been a rough adjustment period for that time. Inconsistency, especially in basketball, you know this. I mean, unless you're getting out there and getting reps every day, it is going to affect the way that you play, the way your team plays, how you're coached, how you move, all of that.
5.5 second differential between the clocks. Littlefield on senior day, yes. Eight points for number 2 in white. Shot clock is off. 56-26. 3 quarters in the books. North Carolina is rolling here in Carmichael.
There are all kinds of products in this world. Things that make life easier or more fun. But New York Life's product...
Door for the final time, Mike Krzyzewski, head coach of the Blue Devils in this great rivalry. That's headed your way next Saturday, 6 Eastern. Sonic Blockbuster on ESPN. 10 minutes to go. Back in Chapel Hill. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Score tells you everything you need to know. Carolina, after trailing 3-0 early, well, it's been all Tar Heels. Alyssa, Ustby. You go back. Outstanding play of Deja Kelly and the senior Carlie Littlefield. All impressive in different ways, not to mention Kennedy Todd-Williams. And look, Carolina's putting the nation on notice. We deserve to be in the conversation to host in the big dance. And look out in Greensboro as well.
When you look at the overall strength of this team, you know, at the beginning of the season, we would have been talking about Deja Kelly and pretty much featuring her, and with good reason. Certainly deserved it, but there's so many weapons on this team. They're sharing the basketball. Kelly with another assist.
Jalen Murray on senior day, not healthy, off the bench, and the crowd knows it. One of the vocal leaders for this Carolina team. Courtney Banger told us this morning she's not healthy. We can't start her, but we're going to put her in, and how about that?
Excellent. You got to love this. Shot clock winding down. You get the ball to your senior. She knocks down the shot. That's probably the most hype this bench has been all day. They've been celebrating each other's successes, and that's what it's all about here. Big smiles.
Dreher High School represent from Columbia SC. 15th game of the season, all off the bench. And if you come to a Carolina shoot-around, one of the first players you're going to hear, I'm not talking about C, I'm talking about here, Jalen Murray.
Yeah, she's got so much passion. One of the big things Coach Bangert's going to miss about her and Littlefield's competitiveness. Those were the 2 words she used to describe these ladies. And when you have that on your team, senior leadership, you got somebody who's leading the charge competitively, then you got the cheerleader on the squad, and Jalen Murray. You really have set yourself up for success. And Hodgson, who's got the ball right now, probably one of the toughest players you will see. So they've got talent, they've got heart, chemistry.
An offensive foul here on Hodgson.
Well, good to see Taylor back in the game. She had gotten out of the game to get some treatment. You can tell that right leg is heavy, the way she's running. She does not have full mobility of her lower body right now.
Lexi Gordon, top of the key, in and out. Duke will get it back, but a foul called before the shot. Let me ask you about the ACC tournament. It starts Wednesday, right up Tobacco Road here, Greensboro. You got Louisville, you got NC State, you got a top 25 Virginia Tech team, you got a top 20 North Carolina team. Georgia Tech, Nell, yes, can I get one of those?
Nell, yes, you can.
All right.
Come on.
Notre Dame, I know that they suffered a tough setback against Louisville earlier today, but I mean, there's some great teams that got a chance to make a lot of deep runs in the big dance itself. What are you thinking about?
Any one of these teams, I do not want to face them. You know, even though Louisville went off today against the Irish are a dangerous team, right? Didn't they just knock off NC State, what, 2 weeks ago? You got them. You know, Virginia Tech's a team that not a lot of people are talking about. Miami's hungry for a win, and that's also, too, what we heard from Coach Banger. She said, listen, everybody who's come in this building has been extra hungry to get that win, and that's been the motivation that we've needed as a team to raise our level of competitiveness.
(60-27). Why not? Murray going out with a bang. Carolina's on track for the largest win in the history of this rivalry.
And Balagoon is close to getting herself called for a technical. Let's go back to this shot. It's senior day. Give Murray the ball every chance you get. She's feeling it. You can just tell by the way she's shooting. She's like, yes, I've earned this spotlight. You can go on and give me that ball some more.
Coach Bangert said she has meant so much to this program, so much to me. It's been emotional all week long leading up to the team banquet last night. And finally for senior day this afternoon. She said we got to turn the page at some point, get ready for Duke. It appears as if whatever they did to prepare themselves for this game, it worked. And Day Wilson fouled on the drive. Well, we're so excited to tell you about and remind you about the tournament. The history of the ACC men's basketball tournament continues on ACC Network. Episode 7 and 8 headed your way tomorrow at 9 and 10 Eastern. Episode 8 breaking down things between 1990 and 97. Episode 7 between 84 and 89. Some of the glory years and some of the greatest players ever to play in this conference on display. And of course, past episodes also on the ESPN app.
See, the 90s, that'd have been prime time. I was probably watching 3 or 4 games a day.
I mean, I was in school in Clemson and saw Vince Carter, Jerry Stackhouse, Tim Duncan. For the Tigers back then, Terrell McIntyre, Greg Buckner. I mean, that was a Sweet 16 team that Clemson had in '97. And that's not even the full story of what you're going to see in those 2 episodes. National championships, NBA Hall of Famers, and incredible hoops played mid-'80s through the late '90s. That Carolina's title in '93. You think back when Chris Webber called the timeout he didn't have. Murray still hungry. Got a chance for a couple of more at the line.
I like the fact that they're searching to get her the ball as well. She's got good position inside.
It's special.
Going back to that zone. Yeah, you gotta try to show her some love.
Lead is 31. Coming up Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Nothing but net. Crew will wrap up the women's tournament second round matchups, highlights, and full breakdowns of each game. That's analysis and insight you can only get in one place right here on ACC Network, also on the app. I can see Kelly Gramlich just rubbing her 2 hands together, just getting her popcorn ready to watch, get everybody covered back in studio.
Yeah, she holds it down in the studio.
She'll mess around.
Drew Carter, Coach McGraw are in there today. Good run out. A couple of quick scores. Good child on that one. She's hit a couple shots in the run out as well as Day Wilson. So a couple productive minutes here for Duke. Too little too late probably for the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils have already clinched the 10 seed in the tournament. And they knew their fate there before this game ever even tipped. And I think you said it earlier, Murray, 3rd field goal, all coming in this 4th quarter, plus a free throw. She's got 7 on senior night. But you mentioned it. Duke's going to have to win the ACC tournament. That's where they are with the resume.
It's unfortunate that so many teams have experienced the inconsistency again this season from COVID. They only played a couple of games last season, and then this year it hit them again. It hit them hard. 11 games where they had somebody dealing with COVID protocol, including Coach Lawson. Yeah, Littlefield read that one all day. She's like, look, I've been read that book 2 or 3 times. I wrote it.
Wiggins checking in. First time in 8 years, Carolina's going to sweep the season series against Duke. The 2013-2014 campaign, the last time it happened. Carlie Littlefield on senior day, a career-high 10 rebounds, a big reason why. This Carolina team, all kinds of chemistry, production, trending the right direction at the right time.
You've spent years dreaming up your business plan, saving every dollar, searching for the right location, and perfecting your product. Auto owners ensure.
What do you think?
Well, the top 4 seeds obviously very important. You get that double bye, you get a little bit more rest, but sometimes when you got too many days off, it gives you a moment to cool down a little bit. So sometimes you're all right playing on that day too. And certainly a strong field. That's gonna be a battle for who wins the ACC championship. I'll tell you that.
Taylor out of the timeout, drains a 3. Little shot of energy with 3:30 to go. Carlie Littlefield. Told you all about Jalen Murray. 7 points all coming in the 4th quarter, her final home game here. Carlie Littlefield, her first career double-double occurring on senior night as well. The steal by Wiggins, free throws coming for 24 and White. Littlefield 10 points, 10 boards, 5 dimes and 2 steals.
Better late than never. Her leadership and competitiveness have been there all along, playing like she's been a double-double threat all along.
Have a moment.
Yes. Look around. This is a pretty packed house. The student section is absolutely full. The fans showed up early. They've supported. They're loud. The energy has been absolutely wonderful here. And the job that Coach Bangert has done to revive this program back to prominence, top 25, perhaps hosting the first round of the NCAA tournament. I mean, you just give her so much credit.
26-point lead. 27-point lead. Eva Hodgson.
Work with me, okay.
Approaching 2 to go. Freshman for 3, splashes that one home.
Well, you've definitely seen how good and flashes of how well Cheyenne Day-Wilson and Celeste Taylor really are today. I mean, when they are on point and can get that type of shot that they want, they're so quick they can get themselves free. And Todd-Williams continues to impress, of course. Yeah, this Duke Blue Devils team, they're just not all clicking on the same cylinder here. You've had some decent plays here and there from individuals, but team-wise, you really haven't seen that effort.
Held ball to go back to Carolina. Brooke, do want to take a minute and send out a special congratulations to our producer today. We've had her a couple of times this year on ACC Network. Katie Bissell has just accepted full-time position with ESPN.
I know that's right.
She will be the AP for school control rooms because, quite frankly, she rocks. And
well
congratulations to Katie on that new position, which she will take over things in short order. And so to my friends over in Durham, namely Chad Lampman, we wish you good luck without Katie's services in the near future.
He's done an incredible job, and so just love to see and hear about good stories like that, the good people.
Approaching a minute to go. What a win for Carolina. Really just about everything went right today. Devils will get it back. And look, we'll say it again. If you look ahead towards the NCAA tournament and you look at Carolina's resume, now 23-5, 13-5 in the ACC. And you compare with anybody else, it's right there between, let's say, 12 and 20. And it stacks up really, really well. Net ranking of 6, that matters. And I don't think enough people are talking about that. So when it comes to hosting, this school needs to not only be in the conversation, but quite frankly, they should be hosting.
Look at the environment. Why would you not want an NCAA tournament here? This is incredible. I mean, to me, that matters too. I feel like as well as teams play, there is a little bit of room for like attendance. You know, how does that look?
Right.
We got to make sure we're selling the game. I mean, the game is honestly selling itself. It's doing a great job. You know, but you got to go and support the places that are doing the best.
Time winding down. Tournament starts on Wednesday. We got one more game for you on ACCN. Virginia Tech and NC State. And that's a top 25 clash.
Why not?
A late foul called. That'll put Goodchild at the line. A wry grin from Coach Bangert.
Kind of a buzzkill right there. I got to be honest with you. You heard all students in front of us go, oh. But I definitely want to shout out the student section for showing up today. Local fans for being here. It is great to be anywhere on site these days, but to get this kind of support, representation from your peers, I mean, these are people you go to class with. You know, they're showing up.
Carolina shows up in a big way. 74-46. That ties the fewest amount of points Duke has scored in a game this season. They do it in the final regular season game as Carolina enters Greensboro Wednesday with a ton of momentum on its side.
Momentum, chemistry, they are all playing well. You can go down the roster here and pick out something great. Almost everybody did on, that was just in the game today. You know, there's threats, it's not just one player, and they love each other. It's a dangerous team. It's a very dangerous